Welcome to this episode of the Muse Report. In this episode, I sit down with men's style blogger Isaac Breeze, and we cover some various topics about creating your own style. So on Isaac's blog, which the name is Pins and Lapels, you should check it out. I'll put those in the show notes below. He covers various styles and fashion topics. But in this interview, we kind of move into some more practical lifestyle habits with parallels to clothing style. So it's pretty cool. You don't want to miss this one. So Isaac makes some profound points about life, style, and being yourself in this episode. So you are definitely in for a treat. As always, subscribe, rate, and review if you like the podcast, and share it with somebody. You can follow us on Instagram, the podcast at muse.mentality for updates on the podcast, future guests, as well as some great inspirational quotes that we put up every day. So that's at muse.mentality if you want to follow us on Instagram, or you can follow the page on Facebook at the Muse Report Podcast on Facebook. So share with a friend, share the knowledge, share the wealth, and the love. So without further ado, we are going to get into this episode with Mr. Isaac Breeze. Here we go. Actually has his own blog, website, and pages on various platforms for his men's fashion thing. I don't really know anything about fashion, but I mean, you could kind of give us some insight on that and tell us exactly what you do. I know what you do, I just can't explain it properly, so I'm going to let you do that.
Okay, so what it is a men's style blog. So the aim is to, well, first let me explain what a men's style blog is. It is an editorial site that that creates content surrounding primarily menswear, but all around style. So anything pertaining to fitness, lifestyle, grooming, diet, anything that basically defines who you are as a person. So anything that makes up your style, your tastes, your preferences. But the actual men's style blog is primarily geared towards men's fashion and menswear. So that's what the men's style blog is. But there's also a second part to it, which is the social media part. So, and from the social media part, people could get confused as to what that really is.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think more people think that I'm a model, not more of a men's style blogger. So I think they realize that I think they know it's a website, but since most people on Instagram, they
right,
look at it as, oh, he's a model, so he's modeling and everything. So like when I first started doing it, last summer, a lot of people were trying to connect me with different fashion shows and modeling gigs, and I was in like this little commercial for social media, just because of the blog and everything. So I got into a number of things because of blogging and because of Instagram.
Right. So now you are a model, basically.
Yeah.
You are a model. The blog led to it.
Yeah. And actually, I'm coming out with a post. What's it called? Title was how I started blogging, or how I became a men's blogger, or something along that lines. And I was going to be talking about how modeling ties into actual blogging. A model per se for a brand, but it's the more so it pertains to the action, not the actual person. So you don't put the modeling on the person. Like, you don't label the person as a model. We're more of influencers, or what's the word I'm looking for?
Ambassadors.
Ambassadors for a brand. So we we model the product, but we ourselves are not models.
Right.
So I mean,
Well, if you're modeling the product, technically you're a model.
yeah,
That's what I would
yeah,
say. If anybody asks me, I say, hey, yeah, I'm a model.
right. So and I think because of my build too, I'm not the tallest person, but I'm like average height, skinny. So it's like, okay, yeah, I could see him being a model. So it's kind of just like, all right, so you just might as
Yeah.
well put on this t-shirt, put on these sweatpants, and walk down the runway. So I've gotten, so I think I have a little bit of modeling skills, um, but I'm not. That's not the direction I'm going. So but if that direction comes easiest, like it has in the past year, then I mean I wouldn't mind doing it. So
Hey, if the door is open, I'll take it. You need to teach me because I am terrible at taking pictures,
listen,
like
just
so bad. Like I make myself look worse in the photo than I do. I'm like, trust me, I look better in real life. I do. But let's start from the beginning. I like to get a little background on the people I interview. So, where did the style and fashion begin? I mean, I know from knowing you personally, you love basketball and playing sports and things like that. So, like, not necessarily you see a whole bunch of athletes suddenly just switch into fashion,
mhm.
even though you do see it a lot now in celebrities. But generally, just where did that transition happen for you? Where did you grow up always liking fashion, or did it happen at a certain age, high school, middle school? What was that like?
But I think I think I was more so I had I believe that I have a almost like a gene from it. I think it's a I think it's a trait that I got from my mom because she growing up she actually had her girlfriends had a business where they did weddings. So one person, it was three of them. So one person did like the flower arrangements. I think one person was like the event planner or did the makeup and stuff like that. And then my mom was the seamstress, so she
Mm.
would do the dresses. I think she also did flowers too. Uh, but she would cut and sew the dresses and like do alterations and stuff like that. Um, and get the bride ready for their wedding day. And sometimes she still makes clothes for people. She used to make clothes for her friends all the time. They say, "Oh, can you make me this dress? Can you make me, this shirt or whatever?" Um, so I think it came from that. But I mean, I noticed. Um, well, I think that's the root of it. That it's more so hereditary. I think that's the main cause for it. But I noticed growing up that I would be um, in the back room of my house, where I actually am right now, because I'm still with my parents. But I would be in this back room, just on the computer, surfing through my favorite brands. So, I mean, at the time in middle school, those the aspirational brands were Abercrombie and Fitch, Hollister, and American Eagle.
Yeah.
Aeropostale kind of phased out as you got to like what seventh grade.
Mm.
People start wearing Aeropostale. That was more like
Yeah.
the lower level. But yeah, I would look at Hollister, Abercrombie and Fitch, um, American Eagles, things like that. But I would go on a computer and just I would always set a budget for myself because usually when we went to the mall on say like a Saturday, we get all our money from Christmas or holidays or whatever, birthdays. Uh,
Mm.
since my birthday was around November, I was racking up for those couple of months from Christmas, from my birthday to Christmas. Um, so we would go to the mall around Christmas break, and I would always have like around $100. So um, I usually take $100 with me. That was my limit. So while I was surfing online, I would go on and create an outfit for less than $100, and I would mix and match things that I like, and I never would get anything. I would never choose anything that I like so much
Oh wow.
that it well that I would say that I like. Well, I always liked what I picked, but I never picked something solely because I liked it. Um, it was always a combination. So I mean, the three things that still apply and that did apply then was price, versatility, and my feelings toward the item. If I didn't fall in love with the garment, then I wasn't going to buy it. If I didn't see myself wearing it,
Mm-hmm.
that whole entire year, then I wasn't going to get it. And if I did see it matching or mixing and matching with at least 3 other outfits, I wasn't going to get it. So I mean, back in the day, I would just mix and match outfits on a computer, and then that carried over to high school and college. In college, I noticed that I was doing the same thing. You know, at work, you know, I'll be on break or whatever, doing mix and matching outfits. And I came across this guy named I Am Gala on Instagram, and he had like 1 million followers at the time. Now he has like 2 point something million followers. But he was going to different places and wearing like Hugo Boss. That was like his main sponsor, and he was just wearing these dope outfits and traveling, and it wasn't costing him anything. He was getting paid for it the whole time. So I was like, well, right now I'm into fashion. And in college, my first 2 years, I was trying out for the basketball team, trying to play D1 ball. You know, like every kid had some hoop dreams. So after that stopped, I was like, shoot, what else am I going to do now? I can't play basketball anymore. So, I mean, I'm not pursuing that. So what else am I going to do? So I saw another passion I had, which was fashion, or particularly style. Fashion and style is 2 different things, and we could get into that later. But I was more concerned with clothing. So, you know, I just...
So that means that, for me, you can help me get a real fresh outfit for under $100.
Yeah. You just gotta hunt for clothes, especially as a college student. Like, college teaches you how to look for things. You know, like, when you lost something and you or like when your mom tells you, oh, can you find such and such? And she like, oh, if I find it, then she going whatever. And then after she finds you, like, oh, you didn't look for it. It's that type of thing. You gotta like really dig in your browser, and you know, search the whole entire city looking for something to find that stylish under $100.
So what are your top tips for digging and finding clothes that are fashionable but stay within their budget?
So recently I've been trying to get into thrift stores. Thrift stores are cool. I wouldn't just choose any thrift store. I would choose one that's more so on like the higher end. A lot of thrift stores, or say flea markets, if you want to call them that too, they sell, say, like cheaper clothing, like more so hand-me-downs, whereas like, you know, like a consignment shop, it sells more higher end used clothing that'll last for like forever. So I would say thrift stores. Also going to stores that are more geared toward business casual, and still kind of, and they're still kind of preppy, like J. Crew, Banana Republic, but they can be, the way in which they can be worn can be switched into something that's more hype beast, or you know, something that's more sartorial or tailored. So I think it's not where you shop, but I think it's a lot. It has to do a lot with where you shop, but it's a lot of creativity that goes into it. Like, you just can't go into J. Crew, Banana Republic, and you know, find an outfit for less than $100. You have to go to the J. Crew factory store online or in person in the mall.
So you kind of got to mix and
then
match,
you gotta go
and jump around, and
Then you gotta go to Uniqlo. You know, find certain things there, and then you go to, say, ASOS has some decent shoes. You know. Or now Target. I like Target for their sneakers and for their shoes now too. So that's pretty good they're pretty decent for their shoes. So you have to find, so like certain stores have like staples that they have. So I've noticed that Uniqlo has really nice shirts. Target now is, and with their new collection, Goodfellow & Co. has pretty decent sneakers, as well as shirts too. But I think their shoes are getting better, and plus they're cheaper than the average price of a sneaker like that. Right. And then, so like J. Crew has, you know, nice blazers. I mean, they have pretty much nice everything, but I think they're more so better known for their blazers on a cheaper end. So you'll get a nice blazer from J. Crew that's not really expensive. So you gotta find.
So you don't like go into one store and like get an outfit.
No.
You like go to, all right, this is where I could get this quality thing for a good price. Go over here, get this quality thing for a good price. Okay, I gotta look into that. Yeah, and I'm sure our listeners would like that too.
each store has an item that is known for. Each store has like their best item. If you like go
Right.
through GQ or whatever GQ their website, you'll always see certain brands being pulled up for the same thing all the time. So like if they talk about shoes, you always see
Right.
say the Republic man is always going to be in there for shoes. If you talk about shirts, Uniqlo is always going to be in there for their cheaper dress shirts. If you go for a suit, Ralph Lauren is always going to be in there for their suits. They're not going to be in there for polos or pants or for t-shirts and everything like that. What people normally buy them for, they're going to be in there for something else.
Mm.
So each store has something that they're really good at.
So, so you're kind of like going to the store for the thing that they're not popular for.
Well, no, I go to the thing that they.
Cause Ralph Lauren, I mean, I want to go there
Yeah.
for like some shorts, some khaki shorts, or a polo shirt. I'm not really thinking about going there to get
Right, right.
a suit. I mean, some people might, but that's not like the general thought you have when you see Ralph
Right.
Lauren
Well, I think
polo. Really,
when you do shop, you go in there
So-
looking for what they're good at, but you're also looking for the discounts. So when I go shopping, you go through the regular sale items, but always look at what's on sale. Also pick
Mhm.
and choose when you go shopping. So um, right now I'm trying to practice more so out of season shopping. So right now, you know, I mean, right now I need summer shirts, so I'm buying summer shirts. But ideally, if I had summer shirts already, I would right now be shopping for jackets or coats. Um, in the wintertime, I'll be shopping for camp shirts or shorts or linen shirts, linen pants, something like that. Because it's during that time it's cheaper because they're trying to get rid of it. There's no need for it.
right,
Although there is drawbacks in that because they don't have as many options.
right.
But you can still find, it's that hunting process that you got to do. You got to really hunt for it.
So, so when you go to wear an outfit or style somebody or yourself, what thought process goes into how you put things together? Is it based on a mood, or is it based on like the weather, or how do you put certain things together? Because I feel like there's an art to that.
Mood and weather. When I get dressed. So first thing when I do get dressed, I'll check the weather. That's the very first thing I do because I mean, say like I like turtlenecks, right? And I can wear a turtleneck pretty much all the time, you know. But I'm not wearing a turtleneck in the middle of July. No matter how much I love a turtleneck, I'm not wearing one in the middle of July. I'm a pass out. So I, so I'll pay attention to the weather first, and then based off my mood, I'll wear an item. If I just feel lazy,
Mhm.
I just want to be laid back and chill. I'll get my Adidas sweatpants, oversized T-shirt, something with a little bit that has like a statement on it. So a T-shirt that I like to wear now is says "This is what awesome looks like," and it has an arrow pointing up to my head, basically saying this is like me. This is what awesome looks like. Right? So something a little expressive. And the reason for that being is that it's laid back and chill, but it's still it has some personality. So you never really want to be too plain.
All right.
Even like today I had on like a salmon color like T-shirt, and then like green cargo pants and some white Reebok Classics. So like there always has to be a statement piece there. So like in that one it might be the Reeboks, they're original, they're classic, and since they're a little beat up, that adds to the personality that they've been through something. And since it's a classic, it's an original, for it to be beat up, I mean that's basically its whole identity. It's an original. It's been through some stuff. It's seen some time. So, and also the cargo pants, that can also be something with a little bit more personality to it. So, I think mood definitely. I mean, if I'm feeling a little happier, I'll wear my flyers outfit. I gotta be fresh that day. If I'm feeling so, I'll just pick out something that's a little stylish, but I might not necessarily be feeling that outfit, but I'll throw something on. But I mean, it all depends. So yeah, mood and weather.
I need to get like
Yeah.
that. Start taking more pride in my outfits. Listen, the levels like you have, like I'm not really feeling it. Just be a little fashionable. Then you got a little more fashionable. Then you got I'm gonna be stunting today. Me, it's like right, I'm gonna be stunned today, so I have a little bit of fashion. Cause some days, man, I just roll out. I'm looking like a straight bum.
Yeah, I mean,
like,
yeah.
like
I mean, most
it's
people just put
bad.
on clothes and just head out the door. I mean, I wish I could like that. And actually, I listened to a podcast where they said, I think it was Tim Ferriss, he was saying that people like Mark Zuckerberg, they'll wear the same outfit every day because
Every day,
yeah, you
it
cut
avoids making
yeah.
decisions.
Yeah, so I
I
was
think I
like,
listened to that
I don't
episode
think I
too.
could be like a cartoon character. You know, like, ever see the episode where they over their closet and then it's like just the same, and then yeah, and then they're trying to decide like what
It's the
to wear
same
today. I'm like,
clothes.
you got the same thing. Let's put something on. So yeah.
Oh man, yeah, the closet of the same exact clothes. What should I wear today? That's funny. But there's something I want to get into because I feel like there's lots of parallels between let's say fashion style and also lifestyle. So of course you have your own style as far as it comes to fashion. I have my own style, and the girl down the street has her own style and things like that. So I feel like a lot in society in our generation today, even though it's not just our generation, it happens throughout time, but we kind of lose a sense of what we are in our individual style as far as it goes in clothes or pop culture or music, or even within our own personal identities of who we are. So I just want to clearly you have your own style. If you go to Isaac's blog or you go to his Instagram page, you'll see that he really has that like urban type of preppy look to him, and it fits what he does because he knows that's what he looks good in, that's what he does. But some other people might not look good in that, but they will force themselves to try to wear, let's say, what what you're wearing, or what Kanye's wearing, or what Rihanna's wearing, because they identify with looking cool according to someone else's standards instead of their own. So like, how do you go about defining your own style? Was it just like an osmosis of, okay, this is kind of just happening, or did you take intentionality in saying this is what I know I like to do or wear, or I know I look good in this compliment to me? How do you go about that process?
So well, first let me actually like break down like the different like definition between, or the differences between style, fashion, and lifestyle. So
Yeah.
first of all, lifestyle is, well, let's go fashion. Fashion is what you see in the runway. Fashion is more so couture. Fashion is, it has phases, and it has trends, and it has celebrities. Uh, Fashion is, you know, uh, spring. You know, what's the latest spring trend? You know, is it camp shirts? Is it polos? Is
Right.
it is it baggy pants? You know, in the winter, is it turtlenecks? Is it parkas? You know, is it the new Yeezys or whatever? That's more so fashion. Style is timeless. So style is a reflection of who you are. So if you want to wear fedoras all day, that's your style. If you want to wear sweatpants all day, that's your style. It doesn't necessarily have to be fashionable.
Mm.
I think people think that a lot of people don't have style just because it doesn't look good to the masses. Um, but if you like how something looks, I can almost guarantee you there's probably a million other people in the world that likes how that looks as well. I think yesterday I was on a train on the Broad Street line in Philly, and these two men were on. You know, they came on the train, they were all tatted up and everything, and they almost looked homeless, but because of how rugged everything looked. But it was more of a like a bad boy slash like cowboy type, rugged,
Hmm.
um, outdoorsy type of look. This type of, it's almost like a biker look almost. But the way they were wearing it was fly. But had I tried to pull off something like that, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. But like on them, it looked pretty good. But for most people, it's like,
Right.
what are you wearing? So it doesn't have to look good for everybody. But I think your style is more so a reflection of you and who you are. It's your first impression before you say anything. Um, it's
Yeah.
the cover of the
I feel
book,
like
you know.
also if when you say style is who you are, which I completely agree with, I feel like you said, the people on the trolley or the train that you saw in Philly, if you see that person wear that the first day, you're like, what in the world are they wearing? They look crazy.
Hmm.
But if you see them wear that day after day, week after week, you start to identify that style with that individual. So it
Right,
becomes
yeah, yeah.
more of like that's just them, and you accept who they are because
Hmm.
you just see that they're consistent with what they do, and then you think it looks great on them because that's them. And I
Right.
feel like that consistency is what's needed instead of trying to flip flop to what the latest thing is.
Hmm.
Like you said, style is who you are. Stop trying to change your style like it's a fashion. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that's what I just think. But what you said, the third point was lifestyle. So let's get to that.
So lifestyle is not so much. It's a part of style. I would say lifestyle and style are like cousins. You know. Uh, I don't know which one would be the umbrella. I don't know which one would fall under which. Or that they're two separate things. But lifestyle is more so what you do on a daily basis. So like, do you go to the gym? When you go to the gym, do you do yoga or do you lift? What type of
Hmm.
alcohol do you like? You type of bourbon or you like sweet
Right.
drinks? Or you just like a cooler? Or are you a seafood lover or are you a meat lover or are you vegan? That's more so lifestyle. It doesn't necessarily have to do with style at all. I think yeah, lifestyle would be the umbrella that style will fall under. You know, what clothes do you wear? Do you like more rugged look? Are you more tailored? Are you more laid back, chill? Are you preppy? Are you hype beast? That's what I think lifestyle is. So basically, how you live out your everyday life. That's to me that's what lifestyle is. Those are the three different definitions for
That's what's up, man. I think we just broke down a lot of things in that one. That was good because I
it.
mean you broke it down to me though because I don't know the terms as well as you do because this is your thing.
Mhm.
But the difference between fashion and style is really that was good. That was really good. Probably gonna make some quotes on my Instagram page for that one. Um, what's your main mission for the blog? What are your goals as far as moving forward?
uh, my my main mission on the website is to help collegiate men enhance their style, primarily their look, um, and to and through their look make them more mature men. Um, because I feel like being in college is it's that period. It's like the I don't know what the word I'm trying to look for, but I mean it's the period between adulthood and childhood. You know, it's a period
All
where
right, yeah. That,
I want to be grown, but I don't want to be grown. Where I have freedom, but I
all right.
don't necessarily have freedom at the same time. Or I have freedom, but I don't really want it at the same time. I mean, I think we all want in college, we all want that freedom, but I think there is a time and place where in college, I think you get to a point as a student where you think to yourself, I wish I would sit at home where my mom telling me what to do. But at the same time, you're like, nah, I don't want
Mm-hmm.
that. I still want to go out and party. Um, but I think there's a point where you still want to you want to be a kid again, but you also want to be grown, and you can't really have the two. And you know, we're not getting younger; we all have to grow up. So uh, that doesn't growing up is just not something that you do in your mind. It's not just something that you just suddenly wake up and say, okay, it's time to be an adult. Something that you gradually do, and just like your behavior
Right.
and how you change your behavior, your mindset as an adult. I feel like that behavior also translates into what you wear. So your behavior about responsibility. So should I pay my bill this month or should I go shopping with this money? Those are decisions that you make when you get older. But you should also be making decisions as to what you should wear that day. So it's not so much how you feel anymore. It's more so about what's appropriate. Um, especially in the workplace. Although I think more workplaces are becoming more
Right.
casual, I still think there's always going to be a place for formality of like attire. So I don't think we'll ever get to a place where you will see people come into meetings in sweatpants and t-shirts. I feel like there's just a connotation that there's association with a suit. It signifies power, authority, maturity, um,
Right.
and just like dominance in a room. Like if I'm the only person in the room wearing a suit, you look at me differently than you would than you would everybody else. You look at me like I know what I'm doing, like I know what I'm saying, regardless of
Yeah,
what's
that's
coming out of
true.
my mouth, you know. So I just want to help men become more mature because a lot of them are graduating now, especially a lot of my friends going to the real world, and we have to upgrade our wardrobe. We can't be wearing J's all the time.
Right.
We can't be wearing sweatpants, to work all the time. So we gotta button up and get suited and booted and finally find some dress shoes for some of us, especially down the business school. But not only finding those clothes, but also wearing them well. So I mean, there's a difference between a suit and a well tailored suit, a suit that looks nice. I feel like the suit that looks nice is going to get you that job versus just a suit just because you had an interview. I mean, that's going to get your foot in the door, but that's not going to persuade anyone to hire you. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you don't have the resume that the guy from Harvard has. The guy from Harvard, he's brilliant, but um, does he have social skills? And most importantly,
Right.
most
Right.
importantly, does he have social skills? But also, what does his appearance look like? You know, so how does he present himself? If his suit is baggy, yeah. I mean, if his suit is baggy, I mean, as long as he's wearing a suit, I mean that's cool. But how does he put it together? I feel like everybody, when you get outside of the corporate world, outside of the job, they
Mm-hmm.
admire the person for how they look. I think that's
Gotta
aspiration.
look the part
You
too.
know,
Yeah.
dressing well, and people who can't do it, I feel like look up to people who can do it well. And even if you don't get that job, it can always be an opportunity for you to say dress the person that interviewed you. So you can build a relationship off that, and it's also an icebreaker. You're like, oh, I like that tie, I like that watch. Where'd you get it from? That opens a conversation and can help you get that job. So right now I'm working on an article just talking about how to attract employers and how to make your mark when talking to employers. So and I feel like style is one of the key pieces to making a great impression on an employer.
Definitely. Well, what's one quote that you want the listeners to know? They could be a quote of your own that you could think of up on the spot, one that you say all the time that you made up or coined, one that someone else said, but what is something a phrase that you would like to leave with the people on this podcast episode?
Um, all right. So the one by Dalai Lama says, when you talk, you are only repeating what you already know, but if you listen, you may learn something new. So with that, and I tell this to my little I that I mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So and he's a big talker. He loves to talk. I think sometimes he just likes to hear himself talk. Um, but me, growing up, I was always quiet. I was listening to everything. I was soaking up everything. And people always ask, Isaac, why are you so quiet? Why you never talk? I'm like, because
Right.
it's nothing to say. There's also another quote that says, uh, fools fools talk because they need to, or fools talk because they have to say something. A wise man talks because he has something to say. So, person that's just talking, just is saying something that has no meaning. But I think a wise person talks because they have something of value to give. Um, and back to the quote about the Dalai Lama, uh, listening is a very important skill to have. Right now, I'm reading this book called "Never Split the Difference" by Chris Voss, and it's talking about negotiating. And one of the things he preaches in that book is empathy and listening to what the other party has to say. Because if you're not listening, then you don't know what they really want. If you
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they really want, then you can't provide that solution. If you can't provide a solution, then you can't come to an
Right.
agreement and fulfill a negotiation that works in your favor. So I think listening is a true skill. If you listen to people, just like you're doing now, you get to know more about a person. You get to know what their tendency is, what they like, what they don't like, and also, from kind of like a manipulative standpoint, I guess, you can also control behavior just by listening.
Yeah, you can.
So I feel like listening is a really good skill. You soak up a lot of information. Like, you don't go to school to talk. You go to school to sit in the classroom and listen to what the teacher has to say. If you stood up in class and talked all day, went to school, and then you wonder why you weren't learning, it's because you never listened to people and what they had to say. And I feel like one thing I love to do is I love to listen to older people talk. I feel like something that, say, your audience should do is to find just one, or maybe like a group of, say, older guys, older females, whatever, that they can hang around, say in their church or in their community or whatever, and send in their porch or something, and just like listen to the conversation. Don't say anything. Just be fly on the wall. You'll learn a lot of things. And also with older people, they talk about their past a lot. They talk about the mistakes they made and what they've done, which can help you avoid those same mistakes in the future. So I feel like, that's one quote that your audience could take away. This the one by Dalai Lama. Just listen.
That's good, man. That's good. Wow. All right. I always give my interviewees a chance to plug themselves for everything that you want the people to hear. So, website, Instagram, Facebook, whatever it is, a podcast you might have, a vlog, YouTube. Now is the time to put it all in there, and I also have it in the show notes for them so that they can click the links if they want to.
So everything is Pins and Lapels. It's PINSANDLAPELS.com. That's for social media. Well, X.com part for social media, but it's Pins and Lapels for Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and PinsandLapels.com for the actual website. So that's where you can find me at. And and a new blog post is coming out next week. So
cool. Yeah. And I heard that you're trying to start a podcast soon too. So
yes,
is that gonna be called Pins and Lapels too?
I don't know. Maybe I'll see with because I'm trying to start with my partner. She's a fashion design student from Drexel, so we'll see. I want her to have a little bit more control of it. All right. Because I feel like she's more of a fashion person than I am, especially her being especially for her, because I believe she's an aspiring fashion designer. She is an aspiring fashion designer, and for her, I feel like it would be good to hear her perspectives on style and fashion, and I feel like she might know more of the business side of it, also the aesthetic part of it too. So, also, I mean, it'll just be something good, good for both of us. So I think I'm gonna give her more control of it. Yeah, so
that's good, man. I'm excited. I'm gonna be tuning in, so I'm gonna be posting it. So yeah, I'm ready for it, bro.
So yeah, we'll see about the name. I think that for me, the name is like the last thing I think about. Some people it's like the first thing, but if I get too stressed over the name, I think I'll lose my creative my creative juices. So I think about it last. I kind of delegate that to other people. The name for Pins and Lapels actually got help from somebody else. We kind of came up with it together, but he helped me formulate some ideas. I just worry more about the concept, the name. It could come later. I ain't too stressed about it. So.
Cool, man. Thanks for being on the show, Isaac. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you for having me.
This is gonna be a good episode. I'm glad to have you on the Muse Report podcast. So we're gonna draw this one to a close.
All right. That's it for this episode of the Muse Report. I hope you enjoyed it. This episode with Isaac Breeze. I know I learned some things about shopping, about going out under a budget and finding some good articles of clothing, where to shop at what time during the off seasons and things like that. So hopefully my style game will improve some after this episode. But I hope yours does as well if your style game isn't already on fleek like Isaac's. So also, if you listened, I hope you got some takeaways just about life. The things that he said about the differences between lifestyle, style, and fashion was just really deep to me, and how we sometimes force ourselves into fashion trends without realizing that we are already our own style. So hope you got some takeaways, wrote them down. If you did and you want to share them, you could DM me at the podcast page, muse.mentality on Instagram, or you can message or comment on the page on Facebook, the Muse Report Podcast, and share the wealth of knowledge with everyone else in the Muse Nation community. So I hope you enjoyed this episode. We have another great guest coming up next week that I will let you know coming up soon. You will see it on the page if you follow it. And hope you enjoyed this one, and I will talk to you guys next week. Peace.
Hey guys, Clee here. Thanks so much for listening to the Build Your Vision podcast. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would think you did if you stayed all the way to the end. The best thing that you could do to help support this show is by sharing it with somebody. By you just taking a few seconds to recommend this show to somebody, you are making a huge impact, not only on the success of this show, but possibly on that person's life.